Cannes. Welcome to what we call the French Riviera and the city of Cannes. This is where the annual Cannes Film Festival is held. This brightly illuminated street is the famous Croisette. From Friday to Sundays, there's always live music on the waterfront. During the day, there are people sunbathing on these beaches. And then, in the evenings, they become places for eating and relaxing. The hotels in Cannes are less expensive than in Monaco. To give one example, a 4-star hotel 10 meters walk from the waterfront goes for 120 euros per night, which is around 8,000 rubles. But that would be for a suite in a 4-star hotel. Of course, the closer a hotel is to the waterfront, the more expensive it will be. Overall, the Riviera isn't a place to come if you're counting the pennies. It's a luxury destination. If you want to rent a car here, for example a Bentley, it will cost you 800 euros per day. A Ferrari goes from 1,000 euros per day. That's why it's a good idea to stay as close to the waterfront as possible to avoid using taxis. The beaches in Cannes are really great. They can fetch your restaurant order directly to your deck chair. The paid beaches cost between 35 and 70 euros per day. That's just the price for access, without any food or drinks. The beach that you're looking at here offers leather sofas at 180 euros for 2 people. That's around 14,000 rubles. Unless you've brought 100 euros per person spending money with you, there's no point even considering a paid beach. Waiters will hang around near you on the paid beaches, in the hope that you'll order water from them. But bottled water in Cannes costs the same as a bottle of wine. An alternative to the paid beaches are the municipal beaches, which are free. They're clean and they're guarded by the police. The downsides are that there are no deck chairs or sunshades, and there are lots of people, particularly in August, the peak tourist season. There is quite a lot of noise on the municipal beaches, such as helicopters descending on yachts. The paid beaches don't suffer from this kind of noise, and the seawater is also cleaner. Another alternative is sunbathing and swimming at locations where the shore is made up of large stone blocks instead of sand. There's a location of this kind right at the start of the waterfront, near the yacht Marina. The stone blocks vary between 1 meter and 2 meters in size. These locations have very clean water, and there will only be about 10 people around you, not more. People also say that the stones have a beneficial effect on health. They are said to be good for energy. And it's all completely free. Now here's a charming and lyrical diversion. Ballet dancing on the beach in the evening. Just take a look at the beautiful dancer. On the front line, the line of hotels closest to the beach, there are 5-star hotels In July, during the shopping sales, visitors come who are interested in shopping. You can see celebrities or maybe just extravagantly dressed women in hats and veils. This crowd love to gather at the terrace of the Hotel Carlton in the evenings. It makes a lovely sight, like something from the movies, because everyone comes elegantly dressed. They come wearing hats, diamonds, or perhaps just inexpensive and elegant jewelry. Before 2014, it was normal to see men aged between 50 and 70 here, accompanied by their younger female partners, aged around 20 or 30. But I've noticed that since 2014, the public here has included not such young men with not so young women. For some reason, 2014 was the year when the public in Cannes changed. Probably it was the year when the financial crisis cut in. It was a change that also affected the five-star hotels and the beaches. Even if you are a paying guest in such a hotel, using their beach will also be a paid service. The climate in Cannes is very pleasant, with temperatures around 26 to 30 degrees Celsius, and almost no rain at all during the summer. I'd advise you not to drop litter on the street, whether it's a crisp packet or a Coca-Cola can. The fine for litter is €180, and that's what keeps the city so tidy. There are cameras in operation everywhere. In the mornings, they use shampoo or something like it to wash the streets. This is the second line from the shore. We find 3-star and 4-star hotels here. They're small and comfortable hotels. Even so, take care. They might not have soundproofing. The walls are so thin that you can hear the sound of a hairdryer in the next room. It can disturb you a lot. I've got a tip for you about soundproofing in the rooms here. If you are booking direct with a hotel via booking.com or a similar service, rather than via a travel agent, you can select the room amenity services you want in the left-hand column. You can tick the service for soundproofing marked in English, and your search will provide you only with hotels which provide it. If you decide to book your hotel through a travel agent, then check exactly the names of the hotels the agent is offering, and then use booking.com to double check. If you do this correctly, you can avoid unwanted surprises in your hotel during a foreign trip. It's something I do myself all the time. Another point is that if your room still seems too noisy, the hotel might offer you an alternative room in a higher category. So the best thing is to check in booking.com if the hotel really offers soundproofed rooms. Hotels want to avoid negative reviews, which damage their reputation, so usually they are willing to agree something with you. There was one time that I was even re-accommodated for free in the next-door hotel like this, so that I wasn't disturbed by noise from neighboring rooms. There's another advantage of booking your hotel on booking.com too. You don't have to have the breakfast. The price will be lower and you won't have to get up early for breakfast, simply because you've paid for it. You can find offers without breakfast on booking.com for between 25% and 70% less. Discounts as much as 70% are usually only offered around 1 or 3 days before arrival. If you've already got your visa, you could risk it, since the savings are quite substantial. I do this myself a lot when I travel to Paris. Just to mention it, the hotels in Paris are pricier than in Cannes. The discounts on booking.com can be very worthwhile. Here we are with fresh juices and smoothies on the Croisette. This is the most expensive hotel on the Cannes waterfront. Rooms here used to cost between 40,000 and 50,000 rubles a day. And that's just a standard room. There's a terrace restaurant next to the hotel, which I mentioned earlier. Now let's hang out in the atmosphere of the Cannes nightlife. This is the famous palace which hosts the Cannes Film Festival. The red carpet is on the left. I'll show it to you a bit later. At the beginning, there's a Croisette embankment, and at the end, the yacht marina. If they say that every second person in Moscow owns a car, then in Cannes, every third person owns a yacht. Now have a look at this, an interesting car park with very pricey sport cars. Many of them are rentals, while others are owned by guests staying at 5-star hotels, and still others are owned by people who live along the Riviera coastline.